Hope you guys liked the new intro. That was actually supplied to me by the man, as far as I'm concerned. It needs no introduction. You all know him, or if you don't know him, then you should, and hopefully this will entice you even more to go check out his channel and give him all the support that he needs, because he's a wonderful human being, wonderful person, and I am thrilled to have him as part of my family. Anyways, like I said, he really needs no introduction from me. But those of you that know him do love him, and that is Frightmare 100. Yes, aka Chris. Links below. Check it out. You don't want to miss out. He does some, well, just recently started some really good reviews of movies. Hasn't done any of late. Does wonderful updates. Everything he does is great. Very entertaining. You really should check out, revisit the 30 Days of Horror that he was involved in. Did some little skits and stuff at the beginning. Just primo stuff. Wonderful. He doesn't believe so. He'll tell you differently, but dude's got talent. Okay? Anyways, this is a video response for Thomas, 13th Wolfman. He's done these, I guess, kind of a retro type of thing back to days of during the 70s and the 80s, where we had drive-ins start off with. Then we went on to first run, second run movie theaters. Now we're here at video stores of the early 80s, and all that was happening during that time. I've been on board for all of these, for the one simple fact that I was blessed enough to be born during that time, to be young enough to fully enjoy that decade and that time period and all the wonderful and marvelous marvelous things that were taking place. And also not too old to not enjoy it, to be an old fuddy-duddy or whatever, which I'll never be. But that time period was an age almost of innocence and magic. Now you can go into a video store and it's so impersonal. Everyone wears the same uniforms. It just sucks. I mean, there's no life to them. I mean, look at this. Where do you see the life? You know, the little mom and pop places, God, it's like they invited you in, and when you went in there, you felt comfortable. I mean, you got, not your standard, welcome to Blockbuster greeting. No, hey, how's it going? You just talk. And, I had the movie posters, freaking just like in the movie theaters. I mean, it was cool. God, what was the movie I'm trying to think of? It's not a horror movie. Oh, The Big Hit. Anybody seen The Big Hit? Freaking hilarious. I love that movie. But The Big Hit shows the inside of one of the video stores. We had video stores that kind of look like that. I mean, Blockbusters have a lot of crap all over the place, but it's just, it's almost like it's sterilized. Okay? They're afraid of you, getting something or whatever. Whereas before it was like, what the hell, We're all family. Come on in. Yes, just like Thomas did say, back then when things were just starting out, it was really neat. It was new. I mean, the only way to see movies were to go to the theaters. Okay, then after the theater, you had to wait till that movie came on TV, if it came on TV, because if it did, then if they decided to show it, then, oh my God, heaven forbid, it would be uncut. Right. Back then, you think censorship now is bad? Censorship now isn't shit compared to back then. I mean, they would cut the hell out of the movies. Half the time, they wouldn't even show it because they had to cut it up so bad that they couldn't put it together to make sense. So, you just went to the theaters. Hopefully, you got a second run theater that you could see it again. Other than that, one-shot deal, or however long it was alive in the theater. Well, miracles of all miracles. We got VHS and beta. Then the war began. I had 2 friends that actually had beta machines, and a couple others that actually had VHS, and one that had both. Their parent worked for Lockheed. Anyways, it was just a time of really neat things, because now you can see the movie and then it comes out in video and you can bring it home and watch it home. I don't have much of my VHS collection that's actually survived, so these are just a few things of horror that I could come up with. Sundown, Wicked City, Tales from the Hood. I have it on DVD, but I also kept it on this because I really like the cover. Wicked City, the live-action version of Wicked City anime, and Night Stalker. This is the very first one. So anyways, and these are movies that I had actually rented. I remember renting. Seen some of them in theaters, but, when I got the chance, sorry for the glare there. Anyways, it was, so you go to the movie theater, the video store, and just like Thomas said, you had to become a member, but to become a member, you had to lay down a deposit. Okay, so you put down this chunk of money, and back then, DVDs like this, they didn't look like this, okay? They were more in cases like this. I know it's not a horror case. I got rid of all my original stuff. This is, Never Say Never Again. I'm a James Bond fan. This is Sean Connery's triumphant return as James Bond. That's a direct ripoff of Thunderball. Anyways, you get it like this. You'd see these big, huge clamshell boxes. And, of course, there's nothing on it, but this is what you see on the shelf. It's kind of sitting up like that. Okay? Anyways, you go in, and this is what you see, and check it out, and you pay your deposit, and these things cost, like I said, they're around $100, or 90-some dollars, 98, 99, or whatever. And to recoup the cost of damaged tapes, or anything, or whatever, the video stores had to completely have it, be able to repurchase the product for someone else. So like I said, VHS tapes were so expensive. Betamax were a lot cheaper. The picture quality was really good. It was like night and day. And even the sound, I remember the sound was so much better. And they were much smaller. I don't have any Betamax things, so sorry about that. I can't give you an example of that. But it was about, you see how big this is? It was, I don't know, about the size of that compared. Literally, about the size of a Blu-ray. It was pretty small. Now, anyway, and it looked just like a VHS tape, only smaller. But back to what I was saying, you go in, you put your deposit down, and you become a member. For a long time, at the beginnings, we couldn't be members because, my parents had just gotten divorced, so I had to rely on friends. So I'd go there with friends who had memberships through their parents, and they would, rent the movies, and then I'd go and hang out at their house or whatever, because I didn't even have a VHS player or a Betamax player. And then later on, as things happened, they would actually rent out, when actually the VHS and Betamax war ended, you could actually rent VHS players. So when that happened, I remember my mother went, and a video store down the street opened up called Mr. Video. And what was really cool was the owner was a really good friend of the family's. So instantly, right away, we got free membership. So we go and we rent a VHS player, and then we rent a couple movies, and then go and watch them. Of course, that was like a 2-day rental thing. But anyways, it was neat, because now you could watch these movies at home, in the privacy and comfort of your own home for the first time. And you didn't have to pray they came on TV cut, or that, maybe the second run theater would decide to show it again or whatever. You could enjoy it as many times as you want. and only if you rented it, of course. It wasn't yours to own. So, you know, it was just really cool. So you go up there and you pay your money, and you get this, you see this, you bring it up to the counter. Of course, look at this one, even has a number, just like they would. And then you'd get your movie. Well, the movie would come to you like this. Oh, and then you just take this, you go home and you watch it. It was just really cool. I remember, got some of the first movies I got introduced to. One was The Fog. I remember looking at it and saw The Fog, and this was actually one of my very first John Carpenter introduction movies. I take that back. I'd seen something else and I can't remember what it was. Anyways, but The Fog I got to see. My friend's house, we rented it and just tripped the hell out. Another thing that I like to say too is that the people in these little mom and pop shops, like the Mr. Videos and stuff like that, they really were personal, okay? They got to know you and you got to know them. I mean, hell, that's how Quentin Tarantino started. He worked in a video store, and he would just recommend movies to people, talking to people and stuff like that. And we all know how he loves to talk. But, yeah, I mean, just going on in, and, I remember this one night, me and two of my friends, they happened to be girls, I didn't have my driver's license at the time, but they did, or one of them did. And she decided, hey, let's just go and rent a movie. Well, we wanted to rent something scary, so we walked into this one little video store. I can't remember what the heck it was called. It was off Soledad Canyon. And it was so tiny, but it mostly catered to horror. I mean, because as soon as you walked in, they had all the tapes right there on the wall next to the door. And we're walking in there, and while they were looking around, the guy behind the counter, really cool, asked me how I was doing, we just started talking, and I said, hey, listen, man, I want something that's scary, something that we haven't seen, and pretty much all this stuff we've seen. Can you recommend something to us? And he said, yeah, we just got this movie in. It's supposed to be really scary. Called The Evil Dead. So I was like, oh, great. We went back, watched it, just fell in love with the movie right away. And then the next time I walked in, the guy just kept recommending movies, that's how he said I got The Fog from that place. Then as things progressed, got to see other movies. Amityville Horror. I never got to see this in theaters, but got to see it for the first time on VHS at a buddy of mine's house. Yeah, young boys, this kind of freaked us out. I remember one movie that just messed with me. Now I look back at it and I think, oh my God, really? That scared the shit out of me? But the reason that it did, and I'll explain. Buddy, we went and we rented the movie. Okay, actually his brother rented it, his older brother. And he's like, hey guys, come on, I want you to see this. And it's Night of the Living Dead. Now, he lived down the street from me, actually several streets down. And I remember after the movie and stuff like that, and all the shit, his older brother and his older brother's girlfriend were, his girlfriend was freaking the hell out and scaring the shit out of us. And I had to walk home by myself, because my little brother, usually we hung out together all the time. He was sick, so it was just me and this other guy and, his older brother and his older brother's girlfriend, because at the time we were in elementary school, and his older brother was in high school, so I just remember sitting down and watching this. I was junior high, excuse me, it wasn't elementary school, it was junior high that I was in, and his brother was in high school, or what you guys call middle school, okay? Anyways, we watched it, and I remember walking home, man, that was the longest walk, because it was at night. That was the longest walk ever, I think, I've had to take by myself. I thought I was never going to get home. Oh my God. I swear to God, I was seeing shit around everything. Someone opened the front door and, I freaked out. And I swear to God, if he would have come near me, I would have thrown whatever I had in my hands and just run like a little girl screaming. Because I was that freaked out. Everything spooked me. And the wind was just right. When I finally got home, I remember my mother, she's looking at me. She says, "Are you okay?" And I was like, yeah, fine. And I went straight into the bathroom. Oh, because I damn near about pissed myself. Then went in and sat down, because I shared a room with my younger brother at the time. And I remember sat down and I told him all about this movie. And he got all upset because he wanted to see it too. But yeah, that just, it freaked me out. I look at this movie now and it's like, really? I can't believe that. But at the time, it did. And it wasn't necessarily the movie, that did it. It was, the atmosphere of which we watched it. I think I'd mentioned this too, Chris, Frightmare 100, that, when we watch a scary movie, a lot of times it does have, the atmosphere plays a huge part of it. That's why going to a movie theater with the right crowd, and everybody, a movie that's not that scary can become actually frightening because you feed off of the fear induced by those around you. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a movie review of a particular movie that captures that fear, okay, that is supplied to you by someone else. And like when you set things up and, plus screen size helps, if you're by yourself in a well-lit room with a small TV watching a horror movie, chances are you're not going to get scared at all, okay, or a computer screen or something like that. You're not going to get freaked out. I'm sorry. It just won't happen unless you're a real chicken shit, which most of you, I believe, are not. Now, if you watch it on a bigger screen with the lights dimmed or off, maybe it's a little chill in the air, and you're with a couple other people, maybe one or two that are kind of chicken shit. Now the atmosphere is different. Okay? Now as you're watching this, at the corner of your eye, because you can't see, because no lights are on or anything like that. There's too many shadows. It kind of starts to play psychologically on you. So now, that same movie that you just watched in a well-lit room on a little tiny screen can now be horrifying. Okay? So the atmosphere does play to it. And that's what happened to me during this movie. The atmosphere between the guy's older brother and his girlfriend, how she was reacting. I mean, she jumped and make me jump. We watched it in the dark. The TV was the only thing going. They had a nice screen at the time. It's nothing like we have nowadays, but still, a nice screen. Holy crap. It freaked me out. So, anyways, there's my ramblings. Great times. Great fun. God, it was almost, I want to say, kind of innocent, magical time. Because you had the inventions of these technologies that allowed you to see these things in the comfort of your home for the first time. Outside of a TV. You could watch it at any time, during the day, at night, whenever. Provided that you had a player and provided that you could rent the movie. Owning the movies, impossible unless you were freaking rich. Okay? But the rental places were great. They were little mom and pop shops, no real big chain stores. They hadn't come around. And like I said, they were personal touches, just like record stores. Oh, I really miss those. That's a whole different thing I can get into. So anyways, there's my little rundown of video stores. Okay, when they first came out. For more background on the wars of VHS and Betamax, watch Thomas 13 Wolfman's video that started this. I mean, I didn't feel like, copying too much of what he said. But everything he said, yeah, I remember it the same way. Just magical time. And I'm very fortunate to have grown up in it. I wish I could have shared it with so many of you, and I would love to share this with my boys. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen. So thank you for listening to my ramblings and rantings and my walks down memory lane. I love stuff like that. God, I'd love to hear some more from everybody else, but I know this seems to be a very select group that grew up during that time and got to experience these things. So anyways, I try to, hopefully Thomas will have something else. I know you said you're only going to do 3 of these, do this in 3s, starting with drive-ins, second-run theaters, now the video stores. There's not really much left, but this was fun. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for this, Thomas. Thank you so much. So, down below, Frightmare 100's channel, and Thomas 13 Wolfman. You guys know them. These guys need no intros, but hell, there they are for anybody that doesn't. So, stay safe, everyone, and we'll catch you later.